Such a nasty day today and yesterday.
Yes, we missed you at HSSBN.
Oh yeah, it was just a crazy morning.
And then it was just like, it blew up. I couldn't believe all the people that came in this nasty weather. I think it was 35 degrees when I was driving there. Yeah,
Wow.
crazy. Roller coaster weather. So we need our natural tools to stay healthy.
I just don't like how North Carolina teases us. Like you have a 70-degree day or two and you're like, ah, so nice, and then boom, fake out.
It's later this year. It's usually in January that happens. We didn't have that at all in January. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, our daffodils are up. It always happens. They're up and they bloom and then they're frozen. So they haven't bloomed yet. So maybe we'll have yellow daffodils for a little while. We'll see.
Blah blah blah. And they looked at me like,
I'm excited. So many of people are getting on. This is exciting. People pay attention. We'll just give everyone a few minutes and then we'll get started. People can just catch up. I was able to have a lunch meeting with Estelle today. I'm a little full, Estelle.
Where'd you girls go?
We went to BJ's Brew House,
Where is that?
Crossroads.
Oh, nice.
And the little Pazuki thing. Is that how you say it? Pazuki?
Suzuki, yeah.
Oh God, that's so good. It was just small enough to like hit the spot, and you're like, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, well, it's 2:05. I'm going to get started and people can just hop in as they can. But thanks for joining me today. This hopefully will take an hour, no more than an hour. If you need to hop off early, I am going to be sharing the recording, but I encourage you to stay on live so that you can ask questions and maybe even get some live scenarios for your business. But there's two main reasons for today. I figure it was a good time to um, do a review of all the things that the Apex platform you have access to and how to use them and tips and tricks on best use of them. And maybe some strategies for spacing out your use of them so you don't feel overwhelmed because I do not want this to feel overwhelming. I want it to be a helpful tool for your business. And then also my new friend Dana is here with us, and she has an amazing tool that is great for, in addition to your marketing, possible marketing tool for a business. And I think I'm going to start using it for Positively Apex, but I figured it was good for her to do a good demo for us in case you are interested for yours. Because I love finding new tools out there that are affordable. So we're just going to start by going around real quick, and introducing everyone's on here. So I'm Leslie Lockhart, owner of Positively Apex, and you all know me. So I'm not going to bore you with more details about me, but Bridget, you go next.
I'm Bridget Edwards. Let's Travel with Bridget is my business. I'm a travel advisor. I've been working in this role for about 8 years and thought this would be a great opportunity to further elevate my people who know my business.
Yeah, and Bridget's a new member to Positively Apex, and all of you on here, except for Dana, are current members of Positively Apex. So it's great for you guys to network. I am got trying to figure out a date in March for our next member networking, quarterly networking. Angie?
Kate Green, Health First. My passion is just to help you be more intentional, use what God gave us naturally to come alive in 25. Let's make sure we're on the right path to help you with your nutrition, your supplements, your teas, anything like that. Just helping you to understand therapeutically and not just nutritionally how you can benefit being intentional.
Awesome. Estelle?
Hey everyone, so I'm Dr. Estelle Solik. My business is Living Well with Estelle. I'm a wellness consultant and I help people make better choices when it comes to vitamins and supplements. So I love being part of Leslie's membership because there are lots of people in the health sphere that I would love to collaborate with.
Awesome. Catherine.
Hi, I'm Catherine Allen. I am the owner of Apex Writing Tutor and Apex Test Prep Tutor. Uh, Business names kind of spell it out. So I run a tutoring business, and I've been working with Leslie almost 3 years now.
Awesome. Marlo, are you there?
I am, but for some reason you can't see me. I'm
Oh,
just your conscience talking to you. Marlo Campbell with Marlo Campbell Insurance Group in Sport HQ, helping you with all your insurance needs, both personal, commercial, and financial, as well as with Sport HQ, the premier indoor and outdoor facility for events and youth and adult activities, health and wellness.
awesome. Glad you could hop on. Ruth.
All right. Hello. I'm Ruth Steininger, and I am the CEO and founder of Steininger Consulting. Um, and I'm a leadership consultant. We just put on a women's empowerment conference, and that's where I had the opportunity to get to know Leslie. She helped us in promoting. That was a fun day. Yeah.
Awesome.
Good to see y'all. I'm going to be
Um,
offline just because I'm doing a couple of things here. I mean,
okay.
I'm offline, but I'm going to mute myself in my video.
Okay. Jeannie,
Oh,
I see you.
okay, but do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, great. Sorry. I've been doing like three different things at the same time. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeannie Rivera with Marigold Bookkeeping and NC Paralegal on the Go. Of course, this is my busy season. And I love working with Leslie, and I thought this was a great time for me to find a new way to market and get the word out on my amazing services.
She's my bookkeeper. And Miss Tawana, you there? Maybe.
Hi, I'm here.
Hey.
Hey, I'm driving, no camera.
Okay.
So, my name is Tawana Gillis. I'm a registered barber. Name of my company is All In Lux Cuts. I offer premium affordable services for all genders, all textures, and all lengths of hair.
And she's awesome. She does my hair and Kelsey's
Thank
hair.
you.
I'm trying to get Jim over there, Tawana. So anyway.
Tell them to come on.
I know. Okay, so I don't know what happened to Marlo, but we may have some people hop in and out. I did have all of your members, but I did have some non-members interested as well. But since most of your members, I'll gear this to, I don't have to give you as much of a demo, but I do want to just walk you through the site. So I'm going to share my screen just to remind you about some things. Like I said, I never want this to be like a chore or something. The last thing I want is for like the end of your annual subscription or whatever, if you're annual, to get to the end and say, I love what you do, but I just don't have time to think about it. And so I don't want to pay what I'm not for what I'm not using. So it's kind of like a gym membership. I mean, you need to use it, but I also am giving you I give you amazing discount based on what it would be if you added everything up separately. So even if you use it a little, you're at least getting your money's worth, I think. But you have so many things and opportunities, is like I like to say, available to you. So I do need to update my site a little bit because since I closed the magazine down last year, I haven't done a lot to update it. But I'm kind of now waiting for this new community guide to get farther down the track so I can add that to my site and just kind of a little overhaul of my site. Not a complete redesign, but 'cause I like my site, but just, updating some pictures, some stats and things like that. So if you go to the front page here, does everybody see my screen? Somebody shout out. You see my screen?
Yes.
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 Okay, excellent. Yay. Just want to make sure that Zoom is playing nice. So if you go to positively-apex.com, you see my tagline there at the top: share good, create good, connect community, and grow businesses. So as a reminder, everything I do, I try to gear one or more of those four items. Sometimes I try things and you just see if it works. And if it doesn't, maybe you don't try it again, or maybe you try it again, hoping that it'll gain traction. So like Sunday, we had the tea party, the Bridgerton themed tea party, and it was good. It was a well attended. It wasn't as attended as I hoped, so we didn't really make money on it. I was hoping to have more impact fundraising wise. But that was really more of a entertainment value, and we did try to do some fundraising in there, but I probably won't do that again because it really I try to figure out how can I include my members and my businesses in the events that I do, and there weren't as many opportunities there for that, and so I probably won't spend my time on something that again. But it was super fun, and I'm glad I did it. It was an experience, and I love tea, and so sometimes I just do events because I want to do them personally and want it done the way I want it done. So on my homepage here, you can find a couple places where you can get to the events calendar, either on the menu bar on the right or the button right at the top. So all these things are kind of cross-referenced here. And then, or the directory landing page. And that is where you all hopefully have put in your business listing. If you have not and you need help, please let me know. But I want you to represent yourself and describe yourself. And in a few minutes after I kind of just do a quick overview again of the site, reminder of the site, I will give a few tips and tricks of when you fill out those types of things. So then the news and stories is the blog, which you all have certain level of privileges to post guest blogs. And by guest blogs, I mean you do it. You enter it, you go into the access portal. This is your key to everything, is this access portal. That is where you put in your initial business landing page. That is where you can enter an event. Let me just go to what it looks like. You were all sent the password at some point, but if you need it again, let me know. And this is where you can create an event for the calendar. This is where you can create a blog post. And this is where you put in your business listing, but you only really do that one time. The thing about the business listing, until I have like an e-commerce section on my website, it makes you create an account, but the account really doesn't go anywhere. But I can make changes on the back end, or you can, if you ever need to completely start over. And Tawana, I know I owe you a change on it. I have to change your location. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to the home page. So just scrolling down more of the home page, just an overview of the site, the blog, and another link to the business directory, stats, which this is a little outdated because I had the magazine issues and stuff on there, and I need to update the numbers here. And then pictures around Apex, a preview of the calendar. And this is my old Market Queen commercial, which I probably should just take down because it was more focused on the magazine, but it's funny. And then the latest 3 posts from the blog. So our last, or 4 posts. So our last blog post was from Miss Catherine. I don't know why it says Fala, but I need to look at that. But anyway, I mean, I published it. So if you put in a blog post, basically just poke me. And if you need to, put in more than one picture, then I have to do that on the back end. So you would just send me the pictures, say, hey, and if there's a certain date you want me to publish it, ideally, or a week, or I'll just publish it when I see it. And as long as I haven't published something like that day, same day, so that I don't publish a whole bunch in one day and then nothing for months. So, but I basically publish what you write. So I encourage you, this will be the tips area, but to add backlinks and your contact information, all the things you want when someone finds this to know how to get to you. So you can put whatever you want there, but people can put comments, and I get a lot of spam comments, so I just don't approve those, obviously. But everybody, no matter what tier you're on with Positively Apex, gets a certain amount of blogging privileges. And like I said, that's a guest blog where you put it in. So let's say you get one a quarter. Some people work well just to like focus on something for an hour or two and then be done with it for a long time, or some people want to do it one at a time. So it's up to you. But I recommend sitting down for an hour or two and coming up with some basic blogs. Now use Chat GPT if you want, and then tweak it to make it yours. That's the key with Chat GPT. Tweak it. Make sure it represents you and your voice, and accurate information. But you could do a blog. For instance, Bridget there's a million things she could blog about. Locations, destinations, things to do as far as itineraries, cruise lines, all kinds of things. It could be like reviews, or it could be your personal experiences, or it could just be, tips and tricks for traveling. So there's all kinds of things you can do. So I recommend if you're, for instance, tier one, you get one guest blog a quarter. You go ahead and put in one or two or three or four, and then I'll just space them out when I publish them. Or you could just do them one at a time, but put it on your calendar to hold you accountable. And if some time has gone by where you haven't used a perk, I will definitely roll over. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, that quarter's gone, so you don't get it now. No, you can do more than one. I'm just not going to release them the same day or something. As far as the Spotlight blog, in your monthly email I just sent yesterday, as I always do, I put the Google form where you can fill out the questionnaire about you and your business. That could be the base of your Spotlight blog that I will do for you. Now, that is a biographical article, essentially. And for some of you that are going to have an article in the new community guide, it will serve as the basis for that too. But of course, a blog can be a lot longer and have pictures and things because it's online versus a certain amount of pages in a magazine. But I know some of the Spotlight blogs have been trickling in, but we have to get those going if we want to be able to write a story. And so basically my process for that, just to make it easier and efficient, is going to be, what link should be the blog? It's really any length you want. It can be, I mean, I wouldn't make it over 1,000 words, but it's when you look at a blog, where do you think your audience is going to tune out depending on the the subject matter? And it's really, as far as tips about a blog, try to make it full of keywords that pertain to your industry and your business. Make sure you include, at least at the like top and bottom, your contact information or link. And you can make it bulleted and easier to digest that way. And we can put pictures throughout or something. So it really, if you need extra help, I'm happy to help you, as far as structure and things like that. There's really no wrong way to do a blog. But it depends on what the goal of it is. If you're trying to educate people and it's something people are going to go seek out the information for, you want them to find it. So you need to make sure it's got keywords so that when they type in, Apex bookkeeping or whatever, then that might show up more likely if you have the keywords. But what my process for writing the Spotlight blogs about you and your business are, when you fill out the form, when I sit down to write it, I'm just going to put the whole thing in Chat GPT and give it an instruction, and then I'm going to see what it comes out with. And if I like it, once I tweak it and get it to the way I like, I will send it to you and have you approve it and tweak it more if necessary, just for, you know, voice and verbiage and things like that. So that should make it a little more efficient so that I'm not pulling my hair out trying to do a Spotlight blog on, 50 clients, but we should use AI to our advantage without it taking over the world. And remember, the community events calendar is there for your use. If you're a business that does events for a living, like that's your whole business, you have that on your own calendar. You probably don't need to put every single one on here. It will make it cluttered. But if you have a business, I mean, if you have something that's an event, like I know Angie goes to farmers markets, or you host an event like a time or travel night about Sandals Resorts or something like that for Bridget. Um, or you have some sort of webinar or anything that's a special event that would be open to the public, meaning, it's not just a private invite, but anyone could find it and sign up for it, then you should put it on this calendar, because that's just going to be another place that Google sees your event being listed. So even if you have it on Eventbrite and let's say you put it on, you're in the chamber and you put it on the chamber calendar, on other community calendars, on your website, on your Facebook, on everything, still you could put it here. And it's just another place for Google to find it. Um, and as far as your business directory and landing page, my biggest tip for that is, so we're going to pull up Tawana's right here. My biggest tip for that is, and I should leave your review. Here, I'm going to do that, Tawana. I'm going to leave your review right now. So this can actually get reviews. Da-da-da. And it helps you know with your Google presence anytime. And of course, as once this guide comes out, you guys, this community guide, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then read your emails, but talk to me. This community guide for Apex I'm doing is going to amplify my site and everybody that's on my site because it's just going to be another huge resource for people to find that they're looking for that are moving to Apex or live in Apex because it'll be a page on my site that you can flip through the magazine. It'll be hyperlinked. So when people come to my site for the guide, then they'll say, oh, what's all this other stuff, right? I'm just going to write a quick review for Tawana while I'm here, but craft and was her private and she has candy. That is fine. She understands the science behind. All right, there's my little review for Tawana. But so as you can see, you put the location, people can contact you directly through your business landing page. You can make a description here as long or short as you want, but I do recommend, like Tawana did here, adding in your link, even though your link will also be found linked over here. I do need to change this address. And then a description with, again, with keywords and things. So that's just some basic tips, but you can, links to your social media and, sorry, Angie, I just saw your chat GPT as in Paul. Chat GPT. And there's tons of AI tools out there. There's one Google think is Gemini. But chat GPT seems to be the most universal.
Leslie, can I ask a
Yeah.
quick question?
Yeah.
On is it possible, like I know sometimes on websites with reviews, you can
Mhm.
like take like if you want to take a review off of Google and like plop it in other places, can you do that on this or no?
What do you mean?
Like if I have an existing review on Google, can I just copy and paste that into Positively Apex's site? Or does it have to
yeah,
be
sure.
originally generated?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure how Google will feel about that. Google itself, when they search, would be they might see duplicate content and so you might want to change something, a word or
Okay.
two. They might see duplicate content and not like that because Google doesn't like duplicate content. That's why when you do a blog, I don't, if you have a blog on your site, now something is better than nothing, but if you already have a blog that you have on your website or Facebook or something, you could reuse that for this, but I would change a few things about it just to make Google happy. Okay, let me just see if there's anything else. So the main tools on my actual website for you guys right now is the business directory, the blog, and the community events calendar. And if you use those properly, so if you're very descriptive in the events that you put in, if you're putting keywords and links in everything that you post and where it's like narrative, if you fill out all the information and put plenty of images. Now, also when you put in images, anywhere. It's good to tag the images as well if there's a place to do that. So that's all for Google's benefit to find you so that this is another site. Google loves backlinks. So you have your website for your business, but then Google's like, oh, you're on another website too, kind of organically. So that just adds to your SEO power. And now once we have the community guide up, that'll be hyperlinked all throughout as well. So I'm gonna stop sharing for a second and take a chance. And we've had a few more join us, but are there any other questions right now for Positively Apex site? So I'm gonna pass it over to Dana in a second. And I see wellness and self-care. How do I find me? Let me look real quick, Angie.
Yeah, I'm looking in the directory and I don't see like health and wellness, I guess it is. So yeah, it was just, and then it takes me to like choose ABCD or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And and then when you scroll down, it's all the A's and then it goes to B's and then C's and whatever. So I was just wondering, you go to wellness and healthcare or self-care.
I'm gonna have to go on the back end and look at something. I'll do that after.
Okay.
I see something, it's not something not showing up right. I will have to see if there's something messed up on the back end and make sure the categories are checked properly.
Yeah, I just wondered because I was like, okay, I went to wellness and I couldn't find me. So then
Yeah.
B's
So when you first put in your directory, you select, so some people are in more than one category, so you select the categories that should show up. And I might have to talk to my web designer if something's wonky for some reason, but I will go on the back end and look at that and fix it.
okay, yeah, I'm not seeing the other one I would fit in. So
Yeah, well, you'd be under all businesses and wellness. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Okay.
yeah, that's my
So that was just a quick overview. What Robin do we have on?
This is Robin Foster
Oh,
with
hey,
Mr. Media.
Robin.
Hello, how are you?
Good. I don't know how much you caught of that, but most of the people on here are my active members, and so I was just kind of reminding them of the tools on my website. But you want to introduce yourself real quick, and then we're going to pass it to Dana for her little demo?
Sure, sure. And I'd like to get on the email list too. I don't know
Okay.
how I'm supposed to do that.
Okay.
I'm Robin Foster, co-owner of Mr. Handyman of Western Wake County. And we've known Leslie for quite a few years. We do Western Wake County, which is Cary, Apex, Holly Springs, Fuquay, um, I'm sure of Morrisville and parts of Raleigh. And so we are locally owned, and the technicians that we send to your home or your business are our employees. And most of them have been with us for quite a few years, and we're just here for you. So you call, we're going to answer the phone. We've been in business for over 14 years.
And they're awesome. They used to be in the magazine years ago.
Yeah.
But we've stayed in contact. So I'm just going to, before I pass it to Dana, actually, I forgot to do one thing. I'm going to share real quick a couple of things just to remind you. So I just designed this. So we have this camps and classes vendor fair expo that we're going to do at Sport HQ. And it's going to be on March 22nd from 1 to 4. And you don't have to be a camps and classes business to participate, but we are giving preference right now to them. But you should have gotten the link to fill out if you want to be a vendor at that in the member update email yesterday. But we're excited to try this where people can go and find summer camps, track out camps, kids classes, adults classes, and other vendors that day. And then the other thing I wanted to make sure, I'm just going to keep drilling into you, is this community guide that I'm working on, this new exciting Apex Community Resource Guide. You should all have gotten this media kit on my emails, but I am just going to urge you, this is not a requirement. You get a discount if you're a member and join it. If you're not a member, you can get a bundle discount if you do more than one thing. But this is going to be a curated guide with history information, lifestyle information, things to do in Apex, a directory section. Some of you have articles, coupons, but I recommend if you have a business and you serve the Apex community at all or can pull from the Apex community, you are at least go in the directory, because I do not want to leave my members out, especially if I have other competitors of theirs reach out to me. I'd rather have my members. So for instance, Dr. Kitzmiller at Apex Dental Group is not on the call, but if two other dentists take the spots, then I'll have to leave him out. So I want a hard no from people if you are actively saying I do not want to participate at all. If nothing else, the directory listing, this is an annual thing, is $99, but everybody that's a client of mine gets a discount based on their tier. So it's $69, $79, $89 for anybody that's my member. And so if you want to become a member at Robin, then you get a discount. But regardless, like Robin and Bruce could go under handyman services and just be in there as a non-member business as well. But we have the directories, and some people are doing multiple categories depending on what they do. So like Jeannie could do paralegal and bookkeeping directories, and you can do coupon, either single or double, and different types of ads. And I do payment plans for this, and this is an annual thing. But please make sure, and Rob and I can send this to you, but make sure you see like the inspiration I've got, since this is the first time doing this, and the FAQs and everything that I've been sending out. And then the last thing that I want to make sure you all do is, let me go back here again. The tiers. I give you these tier checklists, and I include it on every month's email. I recommend you print it out, and then you have all your perks in front of you, and so at your desk or whatever. So, any questions before we move on to Dana? Awesome. So Dana is a new friend of mine. It was a funny story because someone told her that she should meet me, and she reached out on LinkedIn, and we took a while for us to get together, but we finally got together last month, and we just hit it off immediately. And we had a lot of commonalities in contacts and the business world. And I just think what she's doing, one of the things she's doing is really cool. And so I wanted to hear more and more about it. And so I figured she could get on and show you while she's showing me. So Dana, introduce yourself and what you're doing.
Thanks, Leslie. Hey guys, super excited to talk to you today. I'm Dana. I'm Director of Business Development for Myriad Technology, and we're a technology group, and we have an application called Quest that I focus on getting into market and partnering with businesses to help them with their marketing tools and to better understand their customers at the basis. So Quest is a web-based application, and everybody is over downloading more apps and apps on your phone. So we are an app, but it's web-based. So you don't have to download anything like that. It's very simple for you. It's very simple for your customers. And what it does, it incentivizes your customers and consumers to play games. It's digital scavenger hunts, and it makes it fun for them to engage in your business and to play along. And on the business side, you as a business owner, the benefit is it's going to study their consumer behavior in a more in-depth level. So we all know there's different tools that you can use to get lead lists and emails and names, right? So we do that. We give you a name and an email, but then you can study behavior in a more in-depth level. So you can see what quests are people playing, what products are people purchasing, how often are they coming into your store, where else are they going, what are they doing? And then you can more effectively plan and market your business according to your specific customer.
And you don't use it just at storefront. It could be in events and stuff too, right? That's what I'm.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So there are so many different ways you can use Quest. So basically the founder of Quest had a marketing agency, and he realized there was a loophole in the marketing world. It was a lead list, or you have to pay millions of dollars for high level data. And there's, from a small business standpoint, from somebody running local events, there wasn't anything affordable that people could use to study more than just an email address. But there's so many different ways you can use it. It started out as a conference app. So basically for events, that's how Leslie and I kind of got together. From an event standpoint, you use the application, everybody checks in, they scan a QR code, You obtain the name and the email address. And then let's say you have 10 vendor booths at your event. Well, then you're going to incentivize them to go to every single vendor booth. There's a QR code at every single vendor booth, and you visit all 10 booths and you get, entered for a $100 gift card raffle. That's the reward if you check in at every table. So now you as the event owner, one, you have a little game for everybody to play. And if you have vendors coming in, then it's good for the vendors. They love it because you're incentivizing people to go visit them and talk to them, get a chance to sell their product, get their name out there, that kind of thing. And then also the vendor itself will have an email list instead of, you've gone to so many events where you're writing a name and your email on a piece of paper and you're signing up at every single table separately. And you're so tired of just writing your name over and over again to win gift cards and things. Well, now it's easy, it's unified, it's one list, and everybody gets it, kind of a thing. So from an event standpoint, that's kind of the main way we can use that. And then I do have a little case study I can show you from like a storefront, if you're a restaurant or retail owner or something like that. So the next way you can use it like in a store is loyalty. So, you go to a nail salon and you get the punch card and everybody punches, but again, it gets thrown out, you lose it, and the business doesn't obtain any information. So it's a digitized loyalty program that you can use. You get the names, and then if they check in a certain number of times, they can get a reward. Simple as that. But then let's say you're a storefront and you want to take it another level and it's not just check in every time. And let's say you're a wine shop and you have 5 wines on tap, right? So you're going to create a quest in your store. Try all 5 wines on tap, and then you create a reward. Well, let's say your white wine bottle sales are down that month and you want to drive more sales in that. Well, okay, now the reward is you completed all 5 wines, you get 10% off a white bottle of wine. So now that's helping you sell the product that may not be doing as well as the others. Once the quests are completed, you can then go into your dashboard and you as the owner have the data and you can say, okay, well, how many people completed this quest? How popular was this quest this month? Okay, maybe only 50% of the people completed it. Well, which wines were they trying and which ones weren't they trying? Now I know, the rosé was not popular. Maybe I'm not going to bring the rosé back and I'm going to switch it out for something else. So it helps you effectively study what people want and what your customer is looking for, and then to more effectively, grow and get better revenue. So I will share my screen with you to visualize it because I'm a visual learner. So I myself definitely need to see things. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just one case study we did for a restaurant. So they had a Halloween event. And what we did is we set up a check-in at the event. They showed up, they checked in, the business owner obtained the names and the email addresses. And then once they checked in, they were then incentivized to go find all quest. So there were 2 vendors there that you could go visit. And then also they had to find the menu. They hid the QR code for the menu. So we go find the menu and learn about their different drinks and things like that. So very simple, 3 check-ins. And then if you did all of the check-ins, you got a $250 bar tab. That's the reward that the business decided to do. Here's just some pictures, like the QR code's out at the event. There's the 3 check-ins. So again, very simple. All they had to do was 3 items to get the reward. I will show you a live example when we're through this, but like if you look here, so when you're a consumer and you scan a QR code, the cool thing about it is it's not just beneficial to the business, it makes it fun for the consumer. Like we've all gone into a coffee shop and you have Square and you scan the QR code and it just says you collected a star. Well, that's great, but like, how do I know how many stars I have left? How many stars have I collected already? Where can I see that? I can't visualize it. I'm not that as incentivized to come back because I don't know how close I am to getting that $5 off my coffee, right? So here's your dashboard. Every time you scan a QR code and you complete a quest, your little badges come up. So you visualize the badges here. So you can see every single thing that you've completed and everything you've scanned. If you guys pull out your phones and scan this, I'll show you a live example on your phone so you can see it as a consumer, how it works. I'll walk you through it. So you should come up to a sign-in screen and you're just going to sign in one time. And you can do it with Google. It makes it a lot easier, a lot quicker. And then once you do that, you're in the Quest system. You never have to sign up or log in again. Every time you just scan one of our QR codes, your dashboard will pop right up over and over and over again. So it's that simple. I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that. And then once it pulls up, you should see a screen and it's going to say like meet Dana. So it's just a little blurb about me and Quest, and you'll see this little picture of me that's 10 years old and I look a lot skinnier. But so that is what pops up. And then at the bottom of there, there's two buttons. One says collect badge and one says visit link. So once you click collect badge, you can see that there's a picture of me. You'll see this little badge pop up, and then you'll see your badges dashboard. If you go across the top here, so even if you can't get on your phone, I'll show you here. So like you'll see there's badges. My little picture will pop up here. You go over, you can see my quests. So you'll see that you've started the Meet the Team quest. So the team is me and the founder, John. And you'll see that you've completed 50% of it because you've collected my badge, but you have yet to meet him and you haven't collected his. Once you were to meet him, and if you were to get his badge and finish the because you completed the quest. So then you would just come to me and I would redeem the reward for you. So that's kind of like the basis of a quest. So that's simple. We're a 2-person quest, a 2-badge quest. It's done, and then you collect your reward. All of these badges, they never disappear. So whenever somebody visits your business and they scan your code and they see your name or they see anything like that, it's always going to stay live in the dashboard. So they can go back and say like, oh, shoot, who did I meet at, that event? And she runs the Positively Apex and she was really cool. She does theater. I'm going to go back to my badges and remind myself, oh, Leslie, like there she is. Yep. So then I can click it. And then, so if you click my badge again, go back and click my picture, you'll see there's a visit link at the bottom. So you can attach a link to any badge you want, whether it be your website, your social media. So then they can go back and then it drives them to the website. It drives them to see your social media. It drives them to sign up for your product. Mine, we also have another tool. So let's say you're not somebody who has a storefront, or you're somebody who's running events and you're like, how does this even apply to me? Like, how can I use this? Well, if you click my link, it says visit link, you'll see that it pops up with my actual contact card. So it's a digital business card. So every time somebody scans that QR code and they click my badge, they can save my information right from there. So we do offer digital business cards as well. And then what that does, it's going to give you a dashboard of that person's information right away. And then you can see how many quests they've completed and where they're going. But then it's just another way to kind of keep track of everything. So I will flip over from there to a dashboard. So I just showed you what it looks like to the consumer. So as you're playing the games, that's what your dashboard looks like. That's how you go back to your badges. That's how you stay engaged. And that's how you know what's out there. Oh, and one more thing I'll go to. So if you go to the dashboard again, even if it's not up on your phone, there's a little button at the bottom that says quests. So I can click that and then it shows me live what other quests are in my area. So I may have just gone to, meet Leslie and I scanned her QR code and got her business card, but now I can go see quests, right? So like what other quests are being played? Okay, there's a quest for Dana. Let me see what that's about. Or, anything. So I've got, was it Bridget has a quest. So I see her business is on there. So I'm going to go start playing that game. So it incentivizes people to then drive them to your business. Somebody who may not even see your business, it's visible on the quest. And they're like, oh, that looks fun. I'm going to go start playing that game. So it's very interactive and it creates community engagement in that sense. So I'm going to flip to the dashboard. So you saw what it looks like for a consumer. This is what it's going to look like for you as the business. So this is just the demo that I have for you. So we did an event at a gym and they had a couple vendors. They had free headshots, things like that. So we had a quest for them. And it was to check out all the vendors and all the stops, and you get a discount on, quest on the Glow Fitness merchandise if you want. So this is your dashboard, and you can keep track of your quest. So you can see like how many people participated. There were 24 people, and there were 161 scans total. You can see 5 people completed the quest. So 5 people had a chance to purchase merch. And I know for a fact that 4 of them did purchase. So they sold probably 4 more things than they would have had they not created the quest. So it drove people to buy their merchandise. And then the loyalty score, you can see how many, like the average scans and the engagement, right? Well, here's all your list. Like, here's your lead list. So you can see as the owner, I now have everybody's name, their information, how many quests they've played, how many badges they've collected, right? So a lot of people there were 12 total stops. So some people did 12, 11, 8. Some people may have only done 1 or 2. So you can see here. Okay, great. So that was my engagement. Well, now I want to plan a new event, or I want to do another quest, or I want to do something different. So let me go look at the data. So you can pull a report. Here's all the stops. So I can say, okay, I'm that business owner. Well, this particular booth was scanned way more than this one. So maybe this is not the right fit for my customer. Not a lot of my customers seem to like these particular booths. So maybe at the next event, I want to have more vendors like these businesses, right? So you can start to study and make the next event or the next quest or the next, round of sales better than the previous. So I know that's a lot of information I just threw at you. But on the basic side, that's what it does. Now, I did want to go through and I've learned about some of your businesses. So if any of you want specific examples, so let's just say, oh gosh, you're a tutor and you have your students complete different things or different milestones, or you've reached this level of tutoring, or you completed your homework. Say you have a business like that, you can create milestones, things like that. If you offer 3,
she got off.
okay, well,
But you can hopefully maybe watch the recording. But anyway.
So something like that, and you can make the quest whatever you want. So that's the cool part and the challenging part, right? Because it's going to be tailored specifically to each business. If you offer 3 types of services, maybe complete all 3 different types of services and get a reward, things like that. Yeah, is there anybody if you're even if, oh gosh,
I think, just from my knowledge, I think Angie and Marlo for sport would be, and Tawana would be, this could work in their business if it was something that they, had the bandwidth for.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can have, a couple things going. It doesn't have to always just be check in, check in, check in, come 10 times and get a reward. And well, it can be okay, it can be spend,
well, Angie,
$20
for
or more.
events, Angie does a lot of events and she does a lot of samples of her products, and she sells a lot of products.
Yeah.
And then Marlo, he has Sport HQ, which is a sports facility of all different sports and different activities they do there, and different things to engage their clients. And Tawana, of course, is a barber, and
yeah, there's so many different things you can do with a barber. Different types of services. I don't know if you do shaves, do a shave and a haircut and something else and get a reward. For the sports, yeah, you can do different activities or try these different events and things like that. What else? Even if you have an event, so let's say, I think you said Bridget does little things on different types of services and trips and things like that. So come to my event, and then if you check in at my event, come back for a free consultation, and it drives the person back in. The reward is to get them back into the business. We work with a co-work space here, and if they have events, if you check in the event, you get a free, co-work day to come back and try it. So it drives them back to the business. So
and I think Ruth, I don't know if you hear, but this could be great for Shiro, which is a one-time-a-year event, an annual event that just happened in January, Dana. But this could be something to have at Shiro that could be used all differently around all the different breakouts, the sessions, the vendors, the stations.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We started as a conference app.
I've seen
so
it as a
where we
conference
can
app,
do
yeah.
an all-inclusive, the check-in, then you obtain the information, then you incentivize them to check in at different tables and breakouts. And then it also does heat mapping. So you can start to see a pattern, which way did people travel, which groups were the most popular, which ones weren't visited. So there's all sorts of detailed data and high-level data that you can use
For
to
me,
study.
it's going to be great at my bigger events when I'm trying to collect names and emails to add to my newsletter and contacts, and then I get some people to fill out the sheet, and sometimes I have an incentive to have them, drawing or something if they do it. I've even tried a QR code with a Google form or whatever, but for me, and then I have to remember to enter them into my list later, and it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. And then so like obviously there's different things. Like so obviously if you're running a one-time event, that's a one-time charge. And then if you're like a small business and you're using it regularly, the cool thing is you have one QR code. And let's say this month I want to do something, but next month I want to do a different quest. I want to drive a different product. I want to test something different. Well, the QR code's the same. It's always going to be stationary. You don't have to change the QR code out. If you go to, hold on, I'll show you this again. If you go to the dashboard, it's so easy to use, right? So you can just add a collector, right? So at this particular event, I had a check-in code, right? I edited it. I just put what it's called. And then you can go to my quests. Here's my quest. Here's the different badges, right? So all the businesses send in their pictures, and then you can just edit the actual thing. So the code's never going to change, but you can change what the code does behind the scenes. So it's really easy. Once it's in, it's in. There's no ripping things out, changing them. If you're in a store and let's say you go to an event and you're a vendor, just carry the code with you from the store to the table and just go in and set quick change like what it says. And it's that simple. So it can do whatever you tell it, and you can change it as many times as you want and try out as many different things as you can until you figure out what your customers like. Again, that was a lot, but if you have questions, let me know. And then the big thing about Quest is that we wanted to bring more detailed data to an affordable, smaller local businesses, right? So,
And put your information in the chat.
okay. Yeah, the pricing is geared towards small businesses. It's super affordable. It can be monthly for a small business or one time for special events. So however you want to use it, it's very customizable. I'm going to drop my stuff here.
Everyone, or anybody want to tell me their thoughts? Like, is this something that gets your gears turning, or like it did for me, or are you just like, meh? Do you like me sharing these types of things that I find with you?
Yeah, it's got some ears turning, to use your phrase there, Leslie. Just trying to figure out how.
For you, I feel like it could almost be like an
dive
Easter egg
deeper.
hunt. Like you got QR codes around the facility.
Yeah, and I put my information, my email, and my phone number in the chat there. So obviously, there's so many things it can do. So I try to just explain it on a broad level. But if it's something you think you'd be interested in, or you want to at least learn more about it, we can set up a call, and then I can learn more about your business and help you figure out the best way to use it. It's kind of hard to do on a larger
Can you
scale,
give us
specifically to
a
target it.
ballpark
But
price or anything?
what's that? I'm sorry.
Give us a ballpark price, or
Yeah, so I mean, it's as simple and affordable as like if you're going to do like one Quest or loyalty in your store monthly and just run it, it's $125 a month for a business to run a Quest monthly, and then you get the detailed data. You can study your things like that, lead generation, and then again, at the event, it just depends on how many people and how many booths you have. So anything like a large event is going to be more customizable. It can be anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000, depending on the size of the event. But on a monthly scale, if you're a small business, as low as $125 a month to run them.
all right. Well, I encourage y'all to reach out to Dana, get her information, take down her information, or you can get it from me later if you need to. Thank you for being on here.
Thanks for having me.
And anybody have any events coming up they want to announce real quick? Nobody? No event? All right. Well, thank you for getting on today. And if you need to watch this again, I'll send out the recording, but I will talk to y'all later. And as always, I'm here for you if you need me.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Marlo. Oops.
Oh,
Marlo, we're coming to your house tonight.
oh, I'm sick.